All living organisms are categorized into three domains of life: bacteria, archaea, and eukarya. These three domains can be split into six kingdoms of life. The domain bacteria has one kingdom, eubacteria. The domain archaea has one kingdom, archaebacteria. The domain eukarya has four remaining kingdoms: Plantae, Animalia, Fungi, and Protista. All living organisms are made of cells, and all cells have a plasma membrane, a DNA and RNA that can synthesize proteins, and that can replicate, being inherited by the descendants. These similarities among all living things suggests that all organisms are descendants of one common cellular ancestor. That cellular ancestor is called the last universal common ancestor, or LUCA, and it's illustrated here on the bottom of these two diagrams. LUCA can be referred to as a primitive cell or a protocell, which consists of a membrane enclosed collection of molecules that takes up material and replicates itself. This image shows a computer model of a protocell with a lipid bilayer surrounding strands of RNA. It is very likely that the protocell evolved in the ancient ocean, and that it was a prokaryote, which means it had no nucleus. Oxygen was scarce on early Earth, so the ancestral cell must have also been anaerobic, which means it was capable of living without oxygen. It could have been a heterotroph that fermented organic compounds, or an autotroph that stripped electrons from inorganic material to make its own food from carbon dioxide. But it's unlikely that the first cell was a photosynthetic organism. Finding and identifying signs of early cells is a challenge. Cells are microscopic, and most have no hard parts to fossilize. In addition, only a few ancient rocks that might hold early fossils still exist. Tectonics have destroyed nearly all rocks older than 4 billion of years old. Furthermore, structures formed by non biological processes, such as mineral deposits, sometimes resemble fossils. The oldest proposed cell microfossil comes from rock formations in the Western Australia. These are 3.5 billion of year old fossilized chains of photosynthetic bacteria called stromatolites. Stromatolites are layered remains of countless photosynthetic bacteria and the sediment they captured. They are seen exposed in the Western Australian desert. This proposed and oldest stromatolite fossil is found very degraded and may have formed geologically rather than by biological processes. Therefore, the oldest proposed cell microfossil of 3.5 billions of years old is currently challenged. Fossils that are undisputed stromatolites appear about 2.8 billions of years ago. Further down the history of our planet, we have the appearance of the earliest eukaryotes, which are dated 1.8 billions of years ago. Eukaryotes corresponds to cell organisms with a true nucleus. These would be the protista, the fungi, the algae, among others. These evolutionary events took place during a very long interval of time called the Precambrian. This geological era encompasses almost all of Earth's history, from its origin at 4.6 billions of years ago to the beginning of the Cambrian period at 442 millions of years ago. The Precambrian opened a lifeless planet. By 3.5 billions of years ago, water had pooled in seas and may have allowed the protocells to form. At present day, we know that life descends from the same protocell, the last universal common ancestor, or LUCA. It's possible that that cell evolved many times through this time period, but the reliable fossil of the first signs of life in our planet are dated from 2.8 billions of years ago. These are the stromatolites made by layers of cyanobacteria deposited in the sediment. As the oxygen released by cyanobacteria began to accumulate in the atmosphere, aerobic cells thrived. And by the end of the Precambrian, bacteria, archaea, and eukaryotes lived in the oceans.